the topics momentum. What is momentum? The quantity of motion possessed by a body is called momentum. Mathematically, it is also defined as the product of mass and velocity is called momentum. So we can also define mathematically the momentum. The product of mass and velocity is called momentum. It is denoted by P. It is denoted by P. By P. Momentum is a vector quantity. Momentum is a vector quantity. The formula of momentum is, since the mathematically it is product of mass and velocity is called momentum, so momentum is equal to mass into velocity. So since the momentum is denoted by P and mass is denoted by M and velocity is denoted by V, so P is equal to mv. Now we can derive the unit of momentum. SI unit of momentum is equal to, since the unit of mass is kg and unit of velocity is meter per second, so the unit of momentum is kg meter per second. In CGS system, unit of momentum is equal to, since the unit of mass in CGS system is centimeter and unit of mass in CGS system is gram and unit of velocity in CGS system is centimeter per second, so unit of momentum in CGS system is gram centimeter per second. Now let us start the next topic, Newton's second law of motion. What is Newton's second law of motion? The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force applied, and the change in momentum takes place in the direction of force applied. So this is the second law of motion. So now let us start the next topic, Newton's second law of motion. What is Newton's second law of motion? The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force applied and change in momentum takes place in the direction of force applied. So this is the Newton's second law of motion. The rate of change of momentum is directly proportional to force applied and change in momentum takes place in the direction of force applied. Now let us derive the mathematical derivation of Newton's second law of motion. F is equal to ma. Mathematical derivation. So of Newton's second law of motion, that is F is equal to ma. Let us consider force F is applied on a body of mass m. So for time t, so its velocity change from u to v. So its initial momentum is initial momentum is mu. Final momentum mv. Change in momentum is equal to mv minus mu. Rate of change in momentum is equal to mv minus mu by t. We know that according to Newton's second law, rate of change of momentum, that is mv minus mu by t, is directly proportional to force applied. So here it becomes mv minus mu by t is directly proportional to force. Here mv minus mu by t is rate of change of momentum, that is directly proportional to force applied. So F is also proportional to mv minus mu by t. Here F is proportional to, if we take m as common, then it becomes m is equal to v minus u by t. Here v minus u by t is equal to f, so we can put f is proportional to m into a. If we put k in place of proportional, so f is equal to kma. Here k is proportional constant. So k is proportional constant. And if we put F is equal to 1 Newton and mass m is equal to 1 kg and acceleration a is equal to 1 meter per second square, then the value of k becomes k is equal to 1. So putting the value of k is equal to 1 in this equation, it becomes F is equal to 1 into ma. So it becomes F is equal to ma. So this is the derivation of mathematical formula of Newton's second law of motion. F is equal to ma. Now we can obtain Newton's first law of motion, also from Newton's second law of motion. So we know that according to Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to ma. In this case, if we do not apply any force, then F is equal to 0, then A is also 0. This means that if no force is applied on the body, its acceleration will be 0. And if the body if the acceleration is 0, means if the body is at rest, then it remains at the rest, and if it is moving, then it will be remains in moving in the same directions with same speeds. So thus a body not acted upon by any external force does not change its state of rest or motion. This is the Newton's first law of motion. So if force is not applied, then acceleration is not produced. If acceleration is not produced, then the body will be in rest. It remains in rest, and the body is moving with uniform velocity. Then it moving with same velocity. So this Newton's first law of motion. So in this way we can obtain the Newton's first law of motion from Newton's second law. Now we will discuss the application of Newton's second law of motion in our daily life. While catching a ball, the cricketer withdraw his hands along with the balls. Second application is athlete often lands on the sand or foam after taking a high jump. When the third application is when glass vessels falls on the hard floors, they break up, but they do not break when they fall on the sand. So these are the some examples of applications of Newton's second law of motions in our daily life. In all examples, take example first. While catching a ball, the cricketers withdraw his hands along with balls. मीन्स जब कोई क्रिकेटर्स बॉल पकड़ता है तो अपने हाथ को पीछे खींच लेता है. अगर वह हाथ पीछे खींचता है तो उसका जो वेलोसिटी में चेंजेस आता है और इसके कारण से टाइम इंटरवल लॉन्ग हो जाता है. इसके कारण से जो मोमेंटम में जो चेंजेस आता है वह बहुत कम आता है मोमेंटम में चेंज, जिसके कारण से वह इंजर्ड नहीं होता है. लेकिन अगर वह डायरेक्टली बिना हाथ पीछे खींचे हुए अगर बॉल को रोकता है तो चेंज इन मोमेंटम जो बहुत ज्यादा होता है, जिसके कारण से वह जो बॉल जो कैच करता है उसको वह ज्यादा इंजर्ड होता है उसका हैंड्स. सो इन दिस वे वी कैन डिस्क्राइब अदर एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ न्यूटन्स सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ मोशंस. Now we will describe the impulsive force. What is impulsive force? The product of the force applied for very short interval of time is called impulsive force. Now let's take second points. What is impulse? The product of that impulsive force and time for which the force is applied is called impulse. Impulse is denoted by I. So the formula of impulse is equal to force into time. Here force is that is impulsive force and time for which the force is applied. Impulse is denoted by I, force is denoted by F, time is denoted by T. So I is equal to Ft. This is the formula of impulse. Unit of impulse, since the unit of force is Newton and unit of time is second, so SI unit of impulse is Newton seconds. It is also called change in momentum. Impulse can be also defined as change in momentum. Is also called impulse. How can it be say? We know that impulse I is equal to force into time, and F, since F is equal to m into A into T, and since A is equal to V minus U by T into T, so this becomes mv minus mu, and mv minus mu is called change in momentum. So change in momentum is also called impulse. Now let us discuss the next topic, Newton's third law of motion. What is Newton's third law of motion? To every action there is always an equal and opposite reaction. this is the Newton's third law of motions. Newton's third law of motion states that the action and reaction never acts on the same body. Means action and reaction both are not acts on the same body. As for example, if we put a wooden blocks on a surface of table, and then this table exert a force on a block, exert a force on table, and table also exert a force on block. So both force is not applied on the same body. Block applied force on table and table applied force on block. If the block applied force on table exert force on table, that is called action. So action takes place in the direction of BA, and table also exerts force on blocks, that is called reaction, and the direction of reaction opposite to the direction of action. And next Newton's third law of motion states that they always acts on two different bodies. Means it is not applied on the same body, and the magnitude, they do not neutralize each other. The magnitudes of these force do not neutralize each other. So न्यूटन का थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन यह बताता है कि अगर मान लो कि हम 10 न्यूटन का फोर्स इस बोर्ड पे अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, तो बोर्ड ऑल्सो 10 न्यूटन का फोर्स हमारे बॉडी पर अप्लाई करता है, लेकिन दोनों जो फोर्स अप्लाई हो रहा है एट द सेम बॉडी नहीं हो रहा है. बोर्ड मेरे ऊपर में फोर्स अप्लाई कर रहा है, हम बोर्ड के ऊपर में फोर्स अप्लाई कर रहे हैं. दोनों का मैग्नीट्यूड सेम है, बट द डायरेक्शन ऑफ फोर्स इज अपोजिट. एट द सेम वे, जैसे कि एक यह ब्लॉक है, यह ब्लॉक अपने वेट के बराबर फोर्स एक्सर्ट कर रहा है एक टेबल के सरफेस के ऊपर में, दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्शन. एंड टेबल का सरफेस जो इस ब्लॉक से अटैच्ड है, यह भी इस ब्लॉक के ऊपर में फोर्स अप्लाई कर रहा है, यह रिएक्शन कहलाएगा. अगर एक्शन का डायरेक्शन BA है और रिएक्शन का तो यह रिएक्शन का डायरेक्शन BC हो जाएगा. दोनों डायरेक्शन अपोजिट होगा. दोनों फोर्स जो अप्लाई हो रहा है दोनों सेम बॉडी पर नहीं अप्लाई होगा. अगर सेम बॉडी पर अप्लाई होता तो नेट रिजल्टेंट फोर्स इस पे 0 हो जाता, बट यहाँ पर नेट रिजल्टेंट फोर्स जो हो रहा यह 0 नहीं होगा. इसीलिए यह न्यूटन्स का थर्ड लॉ ऑफ मोशन बताता है कि यह दोनों का दोनों फोर्स जो एक्शन और रिएक्शन हुआ ये कभी भी सेम बॉडी पर अप्लाई नहीं होता है, और यह ऑलवेज दोनों अलग अलग बॉडी पर अप्लाई होता है. These are the some examples of Newton's third law of motion. As for example, pushing a wall means if we push wall means अगर हम वॉल पे अगर फोर्स अप्लाई करते हैं तो यह वॉल भी मेरे ऊपर फोर्स अप्लाई करता है. नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल इज मोशन ऑफ बोट इन वाटर. नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल इज फायरिंग ए बुलेट फ्रॉम ए गन. रॉकेट ऑफ मोशन, motions of man on ground, catching a ball. These are the some examples of Newton's third law of motions. So in this way we complete the Newton's third law of motions.